Father in heaven, we say thank you because we are alive and we are thankful. We are grateful for who you are.
He says, you were there. So I came to preach to somebody who walked in this church, who's dealing with a situation that's above your head.
I told you that mothers were a special gift from God. And I'm thankful that God blessed the LeGrier family with my mom, Louise. Although my mom is no longer here with me in the land of living, I can't help but remember how she showed her love to our family. She used to get up very, very early in the morning, and she would make us these beautiful breakfasts. Sometimes we had grits and eggs and salmon patties, or we had bacon and eggs and toast. Or maybe we had waffles and pancakes, and there was always plenty of milk and juice. All right, I'm a little hungry. Then, so let's just say my mother made us breakfast. Then she would let us pick out our clothes that we wanted to wear to school. And we were blessed to have school clothes, play clothes, and church clothes. But you better not get them mixed up. So after picking out our clothes, Mom would grab us by the hand and take us to school. Right about now, I guess I hear Lord speaking to my heart. Yes, Lord, daughter, those are nice sentiments, and I'm glad you love your mom, but today's message is not about you. Okay, Lord. Okay, I said this was a challenging week. And one of the things in our family that we firmly believe in is respecting your elders. And somehow I found out that one of my grandsons had talked back to his mother. Lord have mercy. Well, I had to get into grandma mode and go to his rescue before his mom laid hands on him and blessed him real good. Now, he had been begging me to pick him up from school. So I arranged to go and pick him up from school. When they called his name and he came down to the lobby, he was so excited. He was, Grandma, Grandma. Then he looked at me, because you see, I spoil my grandchildren, and I guess he noticed I didn't have any goodies. So when we got outside, I looked at him and I said, so I hear you talking back to Mommy, huh? His eyes got big. I said, well, I know you wanted to go to Grandma's house, but you're not going. I said, right now you're going to get in Daddy's car. He looked around, he saw that Dad was parked at the curb. I said, get in the car. So we got in the car. And one of the things that I believe that you don't always have to spank a child and say these awful words to them. So I used logic. So as he strapped in the back seat, I began to go to work. I said, let me tell you something about talking back. You see, I was around about your age when I learned a very valuable lesson about talking back. My parents had sent me to Florida to visit my grandma, and my other siblings weren't with me this particular day. I was at Grandma's house, and Grandma, just like I was doing to my grandson, used to spoil me. She'd give me anything I want. And Lord have mercy, she made the best blueberry pies. But anyway, she would, like, one time I was bored and I was sitting on the porch, and she said, what's wrong? I said, I don't have my bike. It's back in New York. She went out and bought me a bike. and she would move her car and let me ride up and down. Well, this particular day, I was playing in the yard, having a little fun in the hot sun, and Grandma came to the porch and said, "Reese, come in and help me with some chores." And I guess I had been playing in the sun too long, because my tiny, twisted little mind popped up and said, "Chores? I'm on vacation. I'm not doing no chores." And then I turned around. I put my hands on my imagination. I said, "I'm going back to New York." Now, mind you, I didn't have a pot or a window or a will or a way, but I was going back to New York. And as I got to the front gate, I fell. And that's when the buckshot went over my head. Yes, she shot at me. And in my state of confusion, instead of going out of the front gate to safety, I turned around and I started crawling back to Grandma. Now, see, I truly believe after I've grown older that it was the hand of God in His mercy that laid me prostrate. But nonetheless, I'm crawling back to Grandma. As soon as I get to the porch, she snatched me up. She looked me right in the eye. "Girl, if you ever sass me again, I'll bury you so far in the sticks, nobody will find you." See, I forgot the golden rule. You don't sass your elders. And as she thought about it some more, she took me and tossed me in the house. She said, "Sass me again. Sass me again. I'll truss you up and put you on display in my funeral parlor." I also forgot she was the town mortician. Well, you see, St. Luke, the moral of the story, and the point I wanted to get across to my grandson was, the Word of God says to honor your mother and your father, that your days may be long. However, if you dishonor your grandparents or any elder, your days will indeed be short. Anyhow, getting back to the text, God began to speak to my heart once again, and He said, "Daughter, that's a lovely story and a nice lesson. But didn't I tell you it's not about you?" "Yes, Lord." "Okay, so it's not about me, it's not about me." "Daughter." "Yes, Lord." "Watch it." Okay. So I thought, okay, since it's not about me, maybe I'll talk about St. Luke and the mothers of St. Luke Church. Now, you know there's so many mothers here. I won't call any names because I might forget a few and I don't want to offend anybody. So I just want to say that the mothers here, they keep St. Luke moving and grooving, and they do an awesome job. However, I think I want to bring just one mother to the light. This particular mother, when God called our beloved Dr. J.G. McCann home to be with him, this mother, she's none other than our very own overseer, Tishalyn McCann. She counted it not robbery to stand in the gap for the St. Luke nation. Not only did she stand in the gap, she knew she had a charge to keep. She had to feed the Lord's sheep. So, like a mother hen gathers her chicks under her wings, Overseer McCann, she gathered us together. Pastor, she fed us, she led us, and she encouraged us. All the while, in the midst of her pain, in the midst of her sorrow, in the midst of her grief, she still had to be mother and grandmother to her own children. She had to dry their tears. She had to calm their fears. She had to comfort and console them. Now, if that's not the definition of a mother's love, I don't know what is. And the Lord said, daughter, you're on the right track, but that's not quite it. Okay, Lord, I give up. Help me to make this message complete so I can go back to my seat and maybe get something to eat. Lord said, daughter, my spiritual food should be sufficient enough for you. Now pay attention and listen up. The essence of a mother's love comes from above. It's a thing called agape love. It's not traditional, but it is unconditional. It transcends all race, creeds, and colors. It's a love like no other. And it's not even about gender. It's the kind of love that will never be stamped, returned to sender. Okay, Lord, I got it. A mother's love comes from above. It's a thing called agape love. It's the kind of love that says, no matter who you are or where you come from, my love is free. Come and get some. It's the kind of love that says, when the whole world turns its back on you and forsakes you, into my loving arms I will take you. My love is not traditional, it's unconditional. Well, to all the mothers in the house, as I get ready to go back to my seat, I just want to leave you with this. Thank you for teaching us to walk and talk. Thank you for wiping our nose and providing us with clothes. Thank you for drying our tears and calming all our fears. Thank you for sending us to all the right schools and teaching us the golden rules. And just in case you never had a daughter or a son, I want to thank all others for standing in the gap until the victory is won. Now to God be the glory. This is the end of the story. Happy Mother's Day.